Okay, BJ Christie joins me for an interview. After Heathie's won a couple of weeks ago, we decided to do one with BJ as well. Hopefully we'll do a few more for some players as well during the season. So BJ, been here a long time. When did you first join the club and how old were you and what age group were you?
Cool. I first joined, I think, I must have been about 15 or 16 in the youth section. I was playing for a local team, a few friends, and they approached me about coming to join their sort of youth section with a few players I already knew. Quinny, Johnny Cooper, Hayden Wills, great little team that they had because we played against them a few times. So it must have been about 15 or 16 that I come down. But yeah, it seems like forever ago now.
Yeah.
You know, but we had a good team then. I think we done all right because there was another AFC Dunstable team in our actual league that year, which was quite strange. Don't know how that worked out, but that was down at the cricket ground, ODs. That's obviously where the name comes from. But no, we had a good team, really good time, good spell down there, and obviously they then give chances for people to go into the reserves and try and push on, get them into adult football. I don't think really there's enough of that anymore.
No. How old were you say?
I was about 15 or 16, I think. Yeah, and then it was just then before I went to, I think I briefly went away to play for Barton youth section after that, through playing well for AFC youth as well. So
yeah, obviously Barton were probably higher than us at the time as well, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it was to do with the Floodlit League because obviously Barton had they're playing into the youth cup and stuff like that. So we had a really good team down there, but again that was only for a season, and then obviously found my way back.
Yeah. So you made your debut for the first team at 15, didn't you as well?
Yeah. I think, like I say, the club's always been like that. It's always tried to push people through, but playing for the reserves, I managed to get a few goals, and before we knew it, it was the guys taking a chance just to see what was there, see if you could handle it. But I was already sort of used to it playing adults football because I was already trying to play Sunday mornings. I was playing Sundays against speak for yourself, full on men waking up at 9:30. They all had a few drinks or whatever, getting on the wrong end of a few tackles and stuff. So I'd already experienced it at 15 really, but yeah, it was about that age that they give me a chance,
Yeah, all them years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you must have had some highlights of your career. Probably a difficult question, but best game you played in?
It's so hard because over the years there's so many good games that we've had. Obviously we won the Spartan by a considerable amount. Obviously Div 1 we won I think we come second actually. Obviously getting promotion there was an achievement. Then you go on and win the Spartan after a few seasons quite convincingly in the end. There's a lot of games in that season that stand out, but I think it always comes down to when you do win things, and the one that always sticks out is beating Dunstable, who they're for obvious reasons massive rivals. They always have been of AFC, and beating them in a cup final at Kenilworth to win the Bed Senior, which is a really good trophy to win. So that's one that always sticks out in my mind. You've got a few other cup finals that we didn't quite make it in, but yeah, definitely that game is one that sticks out for me.
What about your best goal? I bet you've got a few of those as well.
Do you know, all my best goals seem to be scored on Sunday mornings. But again, the goals in that game are two of my best. It sounds a bit cliche, but I celebrate goals in training. I just like scoring goals. Not one really ever sticks out, just because I love scoring goals. I've obviously managed to score a few over the time, so probably bringing one out is pretty hard. But yeah, for me, if I had to go for one, it'd be the second in that cup final. Yeah, cool. Or the dink. You can ask Jermaine Hall about that one. But
biggest achievement in football? Probably you've got a few of them, I guess, but maybe the Spartan one.
Yeah, I wish it could be more really, but we've been there or thereabouts quite a few times. But in terms of achievements, winning the Spartan, like I say, by I think it was 15 or so points in the end, is obviously a massive achievement. Obviously, I managed to win it with Dunstable as well, which I come later on in that year to an already established, front three they had at the time was frightening, and that was at the end of the season unbeaten. So being involved in that is obviously massive, but then obviously winning it and scoring, I think 50 goals that year is always going to be a personal highlight of mine. The Bed Senior, I've always been someone who's just, never really pushed on because I just enjoy playing football too much, being honest. And that's probably been a bit of a detriment at times, but I don't regret really anything, because over the years here I've played with it's always been friends. I've played with friends for 20 odd years, and I don't think many people can say that and actually enjoy football. Yeah. And that's why I'll continue to play as long as I can, because the environment that I'm in and how I see football, you have to enjoy it to want to go to Didcot on a Tuesday or wherever, and it makes a massive difference. So it's probably been to detriment to not have more moments that, I've always had teams that have been in and around it, but sometimes just didn't get over the last bit for different reasons. But to say I've enjoyed every single season, I don't think there is many people that can probably say that can say that really,
Yeah, we're going on that subject. So what's made you stay so loyal to AFC?
Again, it's probably going back from years ago. My old man's the same. He's always, wanted to enjoy football. And when Alex brought me down here all those years ago, I used to hate some of the players at AFC. It's something we've always spoke about. We didn't see eye to eye. Me and Craig Butler, who ended up becoming a really good friend of mine, we were always kicking each other, giving each other verbals on the pitch. But then I think they were even telling Alex not to sign me at the time because of it. But quite quickly, I think everyone seemed to bond. And then, year on year, you'll see that no one really tends to leave. No one wants to leave, which is a credit to the club. Right from top to bottom, Rusty, from Butler at the time to what Evie's got now, no one wants to leave. And that is, for me, because it just matches exactly what I want from football. That's the exact reason that I've stayed. It's just because I enjoy not just the football and the social side of it. You have to want to be, you have to be friends with people. You have to want to, dig in for people. And I think it probably gives you an extra 12 points, 15 points in a season, because you dig in for the people around you, because you get on, because you are mates, and then you go away and you celebrate a good season or a bad one, but then you got to try and go again next season, and it's quite an easy question, to be fair, but it's just a credit to probably what AFC is about. It is a community club, so we've been going a long time, and it's getting even bigger, and I just think, obviously the group we've got here now, we really want to kick on this year and give everyone in the club really what they deserve and the status that they deserve to get from where they've come. The cricket club down at the bottom of Tottenham Hill to where we are now is massive. The scale of what they've done is massive, and it's credit to everyone here. But yeah, cutting a long story short, is the people in the club is what have kept me here, and how they treat everyone as well.
Yeah. So you had a trial at Luton. I don't know how long ago it was now, but how did that come about, and how did you get on there?
We seem to play Luton quite a lot. Not so much now, but we did in various different. I think is it David Priest that we've got, and there was I think we ended up playing them in a cup. But there was one particular game where it was fairly young. They had a few good players in there, but it was a fairly young team they brought down. But we ended up beating them. I think it was 7-5 in the game or something like that. But I got a hat-trick, and they just then invited me down to see what I had really. But I think it was quite a shock going into it, because going from somewhere where you're not at the level of the fitness that some of these people are. I mean, when I was trialling, I was with some of the players that are actually here now, your Saul Williams, people like that. They were actually in the group that I ended up going into. But yeah, it was a tough time. It was a good experience, really good experience. Managed to get a hat-trick in one of the games, but again, I think that was against a trial academy team or something. And then played another game, and it just didn't. For whatever reason, it didn't work out. And I've always been someone I was either going to take it really seriously if I could, if I ever got the chance, which I haven't, to be fair, or I'm just going to enjoy it. So there was no in between for me in terms of either travelling far or in higher leagues or professional. It was you're going there or you are just going to enjoy it and stay with the lads. So it's a shame, but good experience to kick you on.
It's probably quite a while ago now. You had the trial there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
About 10, probably more than 10.
I think I was at university at the time, I think. So yeah, I was probably nearly 10 years ago, maybe 20, 24. So it's still quite late. It's quite late to have it. But yeah, it's always been, for one reason or another, I've never managed to. I had an offer to go and try it anywhere, even when I was younger, for one reason or another. Don't know why it was. No one's ever really told or said. I've seen definitely worse players go and do better things, but I don't regret or don't feel bitter about any of it, really.
Yeah, played 450 times for us now, so.
Yeah.
So just asking another random question. What's the toughest opponent and opposition wise, team wise, and the toughest player?
God. We played. This is on a more personal note, not necessarily for AFC, but Freight was always one of the hardest games I ever had. It reminds me till this day about it. Played against you once, blah blah blah. What happened at half time? And quite simply, got subbed at half time. But he's just a foot bigger than everyone else, stronger, and you do learn a lot from those types of people. But he's definitely one. During my time at Hemel, there was a lad who played for Dartford. I forget his name now. Connor Essam, I think it is. He was class, and in that 7-1 game that we got absolutely battered by Luton. They actually brought a good team that day when Andre Gray and all them were down there, but Kovac at the back, again, good experience. He was experienced at the time. I was still relatively youngish. I could run then and I had a bit of pace left. Again, really, really good, solid defender. But yeah, for me, those three are always ones that stick out in my head as people that you've had. Yeah. Someone's got the better of you, But yeah, definitely them three.
I was going to ask you the name of the best players you've played with, but I guess that's quite a long list.
I couldn't name them all. I think we had that question in the questionnaire at the start of the year. I can't honestly, through the different teams that we've had and the players that have played down there, I don't think I could pick one. Not a chance. Not a chance.
No pressure. You mentioned about playing off his Hemel during COVID in Step 2 football. How is that different from playing Step 4?
You notice fitness levels definitely is one major thing, and just how experienced people are. How much more of a step ahead of the game they are, which, if you don't adjust quite quickly, you'll get found out. But again, massive experience for me at a late age, and I probably would never have done it if it hadn't been for COVID and Birchie giving me a call just to give me that chance. So I really, really enjoyed it, massively enjoyed it, way more than I probably thought I would. But I think that's, again, it comes down to the people that were there at the time. There's some really good lads there that we settled in straight away, and the atmosphere within that team was, everyone just digging in, trying to get a result, because it's tough. It's definitely a tough league. But other than that, you do notice that when you are playing at that level, whereas you might not get across coming in at this level, everything's there, it's done for you. some of the players that were at Hemel, Samir Carruthers was talk about best players you play with. To watch him play and see what he does is, he's class. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that time. Again, even though you can still learn. I remember Thierry Henry saying he learned a lot when he went to Barcelona. I learned a hell of a lot going there that helped me last season, and hopefully help me with the another 10 years that I've got left. Don't tell the missus that.
Yeah, I won't. We'll edit that bit. So just a few more questions about what you do in your spare time, and obviously you've got a little boy now.
Yeah.
It takes up most of your time, I guess. But.
Yeah, between working and him, I mean, it'll be, as soon as he gets to a ripe age of being able to play football, it's all going to be about him then. But in my spare time, relatively boring. Spend my time either at football, working, I like to go to the gym. I used to love PS4. Shows how long ago it was, PS4. Haven't played that in 15 months since little man was born. Yeah, generally other than that, it's just chilling out. I like being at home. I like chilling out. I like sitting in front of the telly, just doing what everyone does, just monging out at times. But it does feel like you spend a lot of your time at football. Yeah, that's the nature of the beast. But obviously, in there as well, I do. Or last season, not so much this season, was dabbling in Sunday football as well. So it's always football. Whether you're watching it, you're playing it 6 times a week. It's football, and obviously during off seasons when you're injured or whatever, you do you realise how big a part of your life football is. So even if it's not me when I stop playing, it's going to be all about Bobby, and pushing him on. But yeah, that's nothing too exciting. But nothing too out of the ordinary either.
Cool. Just the last bit, we're going to go over your injury. Obviously, you've been out, in and out the team since probably March, I think it was.
Yeah.
So what's the update with your knee?
Still trying to, get a, root cause of it. I'm obviously dabbling in and out at the moment. Not trying to do anything too much to make anything worse before I know what I'm dealing with. So fingers crossed I'll be back in the goal soon. I think league top goal scorers on 9 now. Even Luke Collier's on
6.
He's on 6, so he'll be enough to catch up on. But yeah, I feel that as soon as I get back, I'll be able to get in the goals and hopefully get the league title at the end of it.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, I think Louis on 6 goals, but I think he's got 8 in total now. So
he's flying. He was one that first time I met him was at Hemel when Birchie brought him in as well, and I think he actually joined on the same day. So we sort of got speaking quite quickly. He's telling me about his thing. You can always see when someone's got something. So as soon as I've left Hemel and whatever, I was obviously speaking to Healy about him, and he always did say, he said, look, when this is all over, I'm going to come and we're going to play together. And credit to him, he's played a few positions, but he's got a knack for goals. He knows where the goal is, which is good to see. So hopefully he carries on. Big Ty coming in now. We've got Max. You've got quite a few goals from different avenues. So might not even get back in. Hopefully not.
I've been honest with you, I think it's probably, we've relied on you a lot over the years for goals, and it's probably good to see that other players are coming in. Contributing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've always had that conversation of, where the goals come from. And some days it's, you just have to, the right players don't always come available. And, Healy's been after Max for ages to get him really good. And, you can never help injuries, you can never help different bits. So there's always reasons why we haven't had, goals all over the place. We played with, the last time that probably happened, I played with Jermaine. I mean, that season, I think he got 30 odd goals in the league. I was on the high 20s. And he won't give me credit for helping him do it, but he owes me for about 6 or 7 at least. But that was probably the last time we've actually had 2 people scoring in excess of 20 goals, and you have to do it. All the teams the clean sheet records that AFC had to speak for itself. You know, defensive line is undoubtedly one of the best in the league. It's just everything else we need to do. Sometimes we probably need to score more. But like I say, those players aren't always available. They're not always. You can't get them. There's injuries. There's different bits. You know, Nathan Frater obviously is injured at the moment as well. So it's never really fallen for us. And I really thought this year it was good. We were going to kick on. So hopefully not have for too much longer, and you know, we can all get back on the same pitch.
Okay. All right, mate. Thank you for your time, and appreciate it. Be out in the next few days.
Cool. Brilliant.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.